Good day, well this is Scott Picken. I'm coming live here from my boat, so if my hair's a little bit flustered. I'm the CEO and founder of Migrate, and I thought for this Wealth Insight, it's been 2 weeks since I've done a Wealth Insight, and that's actually because I've been on leave for the last 2 weeks. I tend to try and work in sprints, which is where you work very hard for 3 months and then you take 2 weeks off to be able to recuperate. It's something I learned about 3 years ago, that most employees work 9 to 5 and then have four weeks holiday, whereas entrepreneurs need to work in sprints where they work really hard and then take a break with their family and to rest and recoup. My Wealth Insight for this week is about goals. Now, a lot of people have heard about goals. Most people will do their New Year's resolutions and then never look at them. Most people don't even write them down. Now, I've heard that this is a true story. I've also heard it's a myth. But the bottom line is, for me, it's proof. I've proved it in my own life. And that is that with goals, there was this Harvard study done back in the 1960s, and then they went back about 30 years later to review it. And it's something along the lines, don't quote me exactly, but it's something along the lines of literally the top 1% of people that had all the wealth from people that had studied at Harvard doing their MBA. The top one, all the wealth, so something like 96% of the wealth was owned by the people that actually wrote their goals down. So 96%. The remaining 3% was owned by people that actually did goal planning but didn't write them down. And the last 1% was by the rest. And for me, whether those stats are exactly correct or not, the bottom line is it's a fact that if you write your goals down, you're going to be able to implement. And so today I wanted to share with you, yes, I'm at the heads. This is what I do. I choose to come out here on my boat. I'm pretty organized. I've got my laptop. You can see my cool box in the back there with my sparkling waters. You've got my notes here from Necker Island when I spent time with Richard Branson and other incredible leaders. And then this is my little book that I write my notes down with. Now, I'm not going to try and sit here and do all my goals and explain them to you. And if you would like a webinar, please message me on Facebook or on YouTube and let me know. But I'd like to, I'd actually need to show you that on my laptop. But what I've really done, and just in simple terms, is I've developed my goal system over the last 20 years. And really it started with, well, I don't actually know where it started, but one of the major parts was with Tony Robbins. I read his book, Awaken the Giant Within, which I would highly, highly recommend. And so that's what I call my goals master sheet. I've got 7 major areas. I've got financial, I've got vocational, I've got mental, I've got health, I've got friends and family, I've got sport and health, and I've got giving back or spiritual. And that's the 7 major areas of my life. And what I did is I just brainstormed what I wanted from my life and what I wanted to create over the next 50 years. And then I tried to put them down into timelines. So every single year I go and review those. And then from that I developed a system from Dr. Hanestraya, called SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, attainable, what does R stand for? Realistic and with a time frame. And I then take those annual goals, my life goals, and I turn them into annual goals, which are my SMART goals, and I break them up into the quarter. And so every single quarter, I take the entire year and I map out what I want for the year. And then what I do is I have a quarterly review where, again, it's all broken up into the 7 areas, and I then go within those 7 areas, and I put down what are the most important things, and I prioritize them. Yellow is important and red is non-negotiable. And then from there, I ultimately get it down to 15 or 20 top priorities, that have to be achieved, for the quarter, basically. And what I then do is I put them in a little book, and this is my book here. And ultimately, today is my first day. I've spent the day here doing it, and you can see I write down those goals. Now I'll do that then each and every day. And something else I've done this time, which is a little bit different, is I've also written down, what are my top questions I'm asking myself? I believe that great questions, if you get great questions, you'll get great answers. So you can see my top 4 questions here. How can I be more healthy? How can I be a better leader? How can I do less and spend more time at home? And how can I increase my cash flow? Are the 4 major questions that I'm asking myself going into this quarter. And a bit of honest reflection as well. 2016 for me hasn't been a great year. I've been very, very busy, got myself super stressed out and not very healthy. And actually one of the things I've really thought back on is because I've I've kind of lost my way with doing my goals. So I've done my annual goals, I've done my quarterly. Oh, the last part is doing a future vision, which I learned from Roger Hamilton, which is where you imagine yourself a year out and you write yourself a letter for everything that you've achieved and how you achieved it and what you're grateful for. So today my process was I came out on the boat, I start with my future vision, I read my annual goals, I look at my SMART goals, I then do my quarterly planning, and ultimately I write my top 15 or 20 goals down, which I then write daily, and I review them. Every month I go back to my SMART goals and just make sure that I'm on track in terms of what I'm getting. So yes, it is an admission of guilt as well. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do this, but I can tell you one thing, that in my life, when I've done this properly, the results have been phenomenal. Every time that I write down my goals, it is amazing how you achieve them. If you don't write them down, so even by doing this annually and quarterly, it's incredible what you achieve when you look back. But I find I get the greatest success when I literally am reviewing these regularly and at best writing them down every single day, because it keeps it very conscious in your mind. So I know that this wealth insight is a long one, but goal planning is one of the most important things that you can do. I know I said this from Necker Island, but one of the best things I've ever heard is from Da Vinci, where he said, it was Van Gogh, I think, where he said, I dream my painting and then I paint my dream. And for me, goal planning is dreaming your painting, and now it's time to go out there and paint your dream. And so that's me coming live from Teeson Island here. Well, actually not really Teeson Island, from Knysna at the Heads. I come out on the boat. It's the most magnificent place on the planet for me, completely quiet. You can hear the waves and see the waves in the background there. And this is where I do my goal planning, and hopefully by sharing this with all of you, you can hold me more committed to making sure that I continue to do this. I know exactly what to do, but sometimes I also lose my way in terms of actually doing it. And if you enjoyed this, please go out there and share this with your friends and family. I really would appreciate it. Like our Facebook page or subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll continue to bring you these weekly wealth insights. Our mission our purpose is to empower 1 billion people and solve the wealth gap, and we're only going to be able to do that by people sharing with their friends. And I don't believe that the wealth should only be in the top 1%. And wealth is not just money. Wealth is lifestyle. Wealth is quality of lifestyle. Wealth is living up to your dreams and your destiny and your purpose for the life that you are created to ultimately go out there and achieve. So if this has been of value to you, let us know, and please share it with your friends. Scott Picken signing out. This Wealth Insight, August 2016. Cheers.